Hi folks then, oh, it's not getting any warmer, is it? But I've got my duck hat on, so I should be safe. Anyway, welcome to Spotty Spotty. Oh, come back. Oh, that actually was famous Spotty Spotty cat. And it's hi from me and it's hi from
me,
Sue, our fab camera lady. And right, oh, let's get into stuff. I've got a lot of stuff. This all came from Brecon charity shops. There's Dial-A-Ride, there's Tenebris, there's Cancer Research, there's a community centre, and my favourite of all, the Catch Protection, and Red Cross as well. And if I've forgotten to mention anyone, I'm terribly sorry. And anyway, let's get straight into one of my fave things. As we probably know, I think you're going to have to go. That's great. Shadows, Sue. And I think we'll get into this straight into EPG, which is English pressed glass. And have I got some fabulous bits? And this is, and I quite like the clear. You know, people always rate it. But we'll start off with this. I suppose this is about 1880, little cream jug. Not marked at all underneath, but a really nice design, and lovely in the sunlight. It really glistens. And this is another cream jug, but it's a bit of a mystery to me now. I don't know if Sue can catch this, but it almost gets little crystallized bits. I don't know if you can see through to the side there. It's almost rainbow speckles in it, and it's really odd. I've never had a piece of glass like this. To begin with, I just thought it was what we call a sick, which basically means that they go cloudy inside because they've stood with vinegar or liquid in too long. And but this isn't at all. And as I say, I've never had a piece with that sort of finish before. Anyway, that again, 1870, 1890, and so on. Now, this bit has one of the things we really do like, which is, and I doubt if Sue will be able to see it. Can you see right down the bottom here, Sue? There's an RD number, which is upside down. Mm-hmm. Now, interesting thing about English pressed glass is that you can look up the design dates and the maker's name really easily if you just get on the net and put pressed glass registered design numbers in. This is made by George Davidson, who were Manchester in 1891. In fact, I think it was registered on the 6th of September 1891. You even get a day for the for that. And this is a really nice quality. It's the glass. It looks like lead crystal to me. Absolutely fab. And anyway, delightful little Victorian basket, 1891, George Davison. But my favourite bit by far, this was from the Cat's Protection, and this is beyond. It's a sugar bowl, and as I often do say, I'm quite surprised how much sugar the Victorians ate. It's got real vague remnants of gilding on here, and also just in the very tops of there, so it would have been decorated. I don't think that would have made it more appealing to me, but what a fabulous design that is. And as I say, the engineering that it took to produce these, all of these are what we call the 3-part mould, which is a good guide to pressed glass being old. But I absolutely love that to bits. It was in the window of the Cat's Protection, and I think it's got a maker's mark in down here, but I've been trying to decipher it, and I can't. Anyway, I can't. There's a little squiggle in. I'm probably beginning to just imagine it, but I can't believe that isn't marked with a maker's mark. But aren't they just lovely? And they're really nice on the black like that. And the next thing we're going to get into after that, I'll just rattle me box a bit. Oh, very quick. There's I suppose this also is, a mid-late Victorian, and why they had to put this clobbered green on there as though that's going to improve it, I am defeated, because in some ways it rather ruins it, really. And but I had to rescue it because it's 130-year-old, 150-year-old, and I think he was £1 as well. And then we're going to budge these up. all the sparkly bits, clonk. So we never managed to break anything on camera. We've been pretty good. Next thing I'm going to do is, I got quite a few cars, and let's start off with, there's 2 of these, except I can only find one, but there's 2 of these. These are, they comply with my, if they're not Hot Wheels, they got to be made in England or France. I think there's a couple of French ones here as well. Brown Digger, and this one, my favourite one of all, the trashiest one of all of them. But I'll go through a few of the dates. So this one hasn't got, oh, this is 1970 anyway, 1970 beach buggy. This is interesting. I think this was French. What are they called? Majorettes. Hasn't got a date on it. It's a Hummer, and I don't think I've had a toy Hummer before. The 2 horse boxes, they should have little horses inside, but remarkably they've still both got their door. And these also are Matchbox Lesney. I'll see if I can see a date on this one. So, and no, it just says Pony Super Fast and a patent number. I think these would have been 80s, I think 1980s. We always love a VW. This one is a Matchbox series, and this one is 19 something there. I'm going to take him out there. Wait. 1968 he is. And you think, you know, that's 52 years old, and remarkable. The Digger, which also is French, is Majorette, so it won't have a date on it. I should think this is 1980s as well, and but it's got all its bits, including its little bit for its steering wheel. You know, probably had a plastic steering wheel on there, and but really nice. I love the front bit. I can't believe that isn't smashed off. And this is my second favourite of all of them, just because of the condition he's in. And this again is Matchbox. Let's hope he's got a date on him. If he has, I can't read him. And but he's in such brilliant nick. A little bit of wobbly wheels, pretty easy to fix though. Anyway, I really love him. He's really nice. He's a mini moke, isn't he? And a lot of farm boys around here have mini mokes. They're real good off terrain and hardy. But my absolute favourite is the trashiest one of the lot. This is absolutely plastic, and even this on here. And I don't know what era this Mercedes would have been. I think 60s, 70s. Do you, Sue? You're probably better on cars than I am.
Is it a Mercedes? I can't see really from...
No, yeah, he's a Mercedes.
Okay.
He doesn't say he's a Mercedes, but he is. You know, that's what he's made. Probably made in Hong Kong. He says nothing but, oh. No, he does. He says something here. What? He's Stavanger, Norway. So this was made, I've never had a toy car made in Norway before, but I love him, absolutely love him, you know, and wow, that's amazing. And made in Norway. Well, I'm a bit stunned about that. Anyway, brum, brum, brum. I really, really like him. He was one of my favourite things, but often the trashiest things do end up to be my favourites. And we won't get into talking about relationships then, will we? I think we better have a bit of a pause here now before I... Where are you going? Puss, come on then. You coming? Are you coming up?
Yep.
Come on. Come on. Hello. What are we going to do about you? Eh? What are we going to do about you?
Wants to be in the film.
Yeah. Well, we're going to have a slight break.
A dish, that's why.
And we'll replenish the seat. It's such a lovely day. It's so nice to do these outside. Oh, it's a glorious, glorious. Is this late summer or early Indian summer? I don't know. And anyway, Sue, right, we're going to have a pause now, and we'll be back to you in a little bit. I thought we'd get into all the ceramics next, and primarily I I think it was 10 of us, I walked into, and they had a lot of this, which we call, it's Torquay ware, or we tend to call it Motto ware for pretty obvious reasons, really, because it's full of mottos, really, though they say they couldn't spell. And I'm going to start off with these two plaques here. These were crazy. These were £2 each. They are Watcombe. This is what they call a Scandi pattern. You see that on a lot of older Victorian motto ware. There's a bit of, no, that's part of the glaze. And this one hasn't got a dot, though. I don't know what they are. They almost look like, oh, yeah, anyway, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And do not stain today's blue skies with tomorrow's clouds. Oh. And I mean, you know, and I have a piece of motto where the only piece that I've really kept, which just says, give your mouth a holiday, and which a lot of people think is very appropriate. I suppose this is designed, you know, to look like a dressing table tray, really, but it's a beautiful wall plaque, and someone's actually done that on the back here. It's actually signed by the decorator, either IN or NI, and underneath this modern disc hanger, and we'll just peel off the, I say £2. You can just see here, I don't know if you can, where it says you've just got the end of Cum Quay, which is Watcombe Torquay. And the next one I'm going to do then is this one here, which is in some ways even more interesting. List to me, you ladies fair, and when you come, and when you wish to curl your hair, for the safety of this domicile, pray place your irons upon this tile.
Oh,
and
the curling tongs.
Yes, for curling tongs, so you didn't burn the table. And a lot of curling tongs, the earlier ones, you would literally put into a fire. And that's how ladies curl their hair. Shame I haven't got a pair of curling tongs. I mean, I'm sure I have, but I wish I'd thought about it. But whoa, you know, these two plaques are as nice a bits of Torquay ware as I've ever had, and I've been doing this for 40 years plus, and you still get things that turn up all the time that are so surprising. I think both of these are probably late Victorian. Maybe this one's a little bit later, but you can really see the Watcombe on that. Shall I get it into the sunlight? Can you see that okay?
I don't know if I can see it, but, oh, that's my...
Yeah, that's what I mean, yeah. And yeah, you're supposed to be the director. And and then on top of that, which I would have been ever so pleased to get besides, I've got a toast rack. I don't know, it's not a particularly common form for motto ware, and it's got the great motto on the back, please help yourself to toast. And, yeah, which will that's my family motto, please help yourself to toast. And absolutely lovely anyway. And yeah. And then on top of that, he was £2, and on top of that, these were £3. And obviously it's a creamer and a sugar. And it's take your wool out, and be canny with the sugar. I don't know what that means up there. Tack your wool out. But what is really nice about these is one of my favourite decorations, the cockerels on the back of these, and the marking underneath, I don't know, I think you'll have to go to the side so to get the sunlight. Yeah, see? And I don't know that on there at all. I would have thought these were all Torquay or similar. 1920s these, as is the toast rack as well. But what a fab collection of motto ware. Now we did get some more ceramics as well. And I'm almost ashamed of this. This is Leonardo Connection, and of course you tend to go, ooh, you know. But I thought he was charming. He's a ring bearer, I was wondering if he was supposed to be something for Will and Kate's wedding, but he's actually not. He's one of a pair of what they call cake toppers, and there was a flower girl to go with him as well. And he is just Leonardo collection underneath here. I personally think this was made by Ladro, or what's the other one, beginning with N, something like Nio. Nio, yeah. It's just the colours, the pottery, everything about it. And so I'd be a bit surprised if it wasn't, but it's Leonardo collection. And I just thought he would be ever so cute for someone for the top of their wedding cake, or even if someone was going to propose to someone, wouldn't that just be a brilliant thing to do it with? You could put your little ring on top of there and then anyway, next two things are a couple of bits of royal Worcester, and so I'm going to be gone for about a good 30 seconds because I've just remembered something.
Okay.
Still captivated with your camera work, Sue?
We are.
Okay, and let's shift this over. Yes, and the reason why I dashed off is because this also is Royal Worcester. Now, the two little coffee cans, old Royal Worcester, absolutely delightful. These were 50p each. These were catch protection. Absolutely delightful, and they are little coffee cans. Now, interesting thing with Worcester, if you count the dots, you can actually put a date on, but
work it out, yeah.
I lost the will to live and I didn't do that. I can't count that
really
high.
Matter.
I suggest they're about 1900, 1910, whereas this here is a lot more modern, but also it's got the same brilliant quality that Royal Worcester always had, this is amazing because for all intents and purposes this is Pyrax. It's oven to tableware, and that's where the label was, but I love the graphics on the asparagus. Now it should have a lid and so on and so forth, but this was £3. I just thought it was a bowl. I didn't realise it was a casserole that should have a lid, but it was £3, and I really love the asparagus, let alone the Hollywood Regency touch of the gold handles on the end, and I love these. I think they're fabulous. They're beyond anything else. They're blue and white, but the quality of Royal Worcester porcelain is beyond. It was as good as anything anyone ever made. And the next one here is a little teacup, and the teacup is George Jones crescent ware underneath there. He's bang on. I think he's absolutely bang on 1923 in terms of the mark and also the shape and everything else about him. He was £1 for the cup and the saucer. Oh, I see he's got a tiny hairline, but so what? I don't think anyone's going to seriously drink hot drinks out of that. And the very last bit, I think the very last bit of actual china we've got is this, which is it's an Irish pixie, or I suppose leprechaun or whatever. And what intrigues me about this, and just out of pure illustration, is the eyes. Often when we look at little figurines, you can tell if they were made in the Far East because of their eyes. And this is slightly confusing, because I think this is 1920s. I think that it's got what we call Kewpie eye dolls, and it's got a Kewpie doll look to it as well. It's got the strangest little thing written underneath it, which is here, and it's, there we go. And I don't know, it says the Irish, oh, it's going to say leprechaun underneath, isn't it? And yeah, I think he's 1920s. I also would love to have him, and I'd love to put a little jewel there, and he really would look good. see, that's, I think we're going to have another break to, oh, we got one other bit of China around porcelain left. This is classic retro, 60s, 70s, and here's Silvac, and he's got all the stuff underneath there. He says Silvac, and then he's got a mold number underneath this. This is what they call a magnolia pattern, and absolutely perfect. I could have done a better job washing him out inside, but he's not cracked, and a really joyful and a really nice little vase to have on one windowsill. Well, that really is the end of the ceramics, and we're going to have another little break.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, then. See you in a moment.